Good morning, everybody. This is Paul Williams speaking. I'm the Senior Business Manager for Ingram Micro. I'm responsible for the storage business. What we wanted to do today was to give you a very brief overview of the new StoreVirtual product. In August, HPE announced this new product, which, as you'll find out in the next 20 minutes or so, is really important to the mid-market. And with that, I'm going to introduce you to Alex Wilson, who's the Solutions Architect for HPE, and he's going to give you an overview on the new StoreVirtual 3200 product. Alex, over to you.
Okay, thanks, Paul, and hi, everybody. I'm Alex Wilson, as Paul mentioned, the Solutions Architect, particularly focused around our software-defined and hyper-converged technologies, and I'm going to primarily focus today on our new StoreVirtual 3200. So just to give you a view, what we launched on the 15th of August was a brand new product within our StoreVirtual family, the 3200, which is really aimed at being an advanced set of features for an entry-level storage product, and really very much our lowest point of entry within our storage family now. What we also announced was an update to the MSA family, the new MSA 2042, and we have another session later on in the week going through the update to the MSA 2042 as well. But HPE are the industry-leading entry storage provider, so these are two very key products that we're adding to our portfolio here. But today we're going to focus very much on what's new with this StoreVirtual 3200. And in terms of the challenges that we're trying to meet with this particular platform, so the key challenges we see from the administrators in this entry space, very much around limited budget. So typically finding themselves ever squeezed in terms of how much money they need to spend. So they need to do a lot more with less. They need to get more functionality at a lower cost point. They've got less time. They're managing more. Systems are more critical than ever, so they need to make sure that any platform they choose is as automated and as simple as possible. And another area we're really focusing on is around investment protection. So a platform that's able to scale with the business as it grows, as it matures, and has the new requirements that come along, but also get away from this cycle of buying a platform, using it, and then almost throwing it away and starting again. So we're looking to introduce a technology that has the ability to scale, but also has the ability to migrate very easily to the next thing later on. So retaining a lot more of that investment as we go. So the 3200, as I mentioned, is a brand new product within our StoreVirtual family. So very much aimed around being next generation product, some brand new features, but delivering that all at a very low cost point. So starting around a £5,000 list price starting point, designed for a hybrid capable configuration, but can also be delivered as simple spinning disk with the option to add SSD and accelerate workloads later on. We bring over technologies from our StoreVirtual family like our adaptive optimization, our tiering capabilities, and this is very much a real-time process that will move data around, put it in the most appropriate place based on workload. So if a particular bit of data is busy 1 hour, that will sit in the highest performing disk. If a different bit of data is hot later on, then that will move around as it needs to. So very much making the best possible use of that more expensive but much faster tier of storage there. We've also developed a brand new deployment and management capability for the 3200. So very much based around being very simple for a customer to set everything up themselves. No need for manuals and reading everything. They just follow a wizard to set up. And then very simple to manage and administer and monitor the system with as much automation as possible going on in the background as standard. But also something that's very unique to this entry-level space is the ability for us to connect up to a platform we call Storefront Remote. So the ability to have cloud-based analytics that can give you trending and predictive analysis based on what your data has been doing over time and what your capacity has looked like and where that's going in the future. And then any information about potential alerts and updates that could be applied as well. So again, very unique in this sort of entry space, using a lot of technology that we've had within our 3PAR-based platforms here. We also focus a lot on high availability and how we deliver resilience, and we can do that by using things like our snapshot technology. We can support a large number of snapshots, so very easy to recover. They can work with applications as well, so they can be consistent, known good recovery points that we can get back to. And for those of you that are familiar with StoreVirtual today, we've also added a capability to do something different in terms of scaling. So we can really scale with the customer's requirements today and as they grow later on as well. So we can scale by adding drives and drive enclosures, giving us a lot more flexibility around that growth increment. And we also have some brand new tools around migration capabilities, so how we can easily and simply migrate workloads across onto this new platform. Okay. To give you a bit more detail about the platform itself, so this is a brand new custom design storage platform for the StoreVirtual 3200. So this is now a 2U dual controller system. They're fully active controllers, so they're delivering high availability within the single appliance. Obviously, we have redundant and hot swap components throughout. We have the ability to use both large and small form factor drive enclosures, as well as the base storage enclosure itself. We've got high performance connectivity throughout, so it's 12 gig SAS end to end. We're making use of our storage software RAID engine within this platform, so very high performance RAID engine that we use. And we now have the ability to scale up this platform. So we can add drives to the existing enclosure. We can add extra drive enclosures to scale up to either 48 large form factor, 100 small form factor, or a mix between the two as needed. So more scalability and more flexibility than we've ever had within this range. Those controllers are high-performance controllers designed for that entry-level performance capability and are very competitive with other products within this space. Plenty of cache on those controllers. And again, those of you familiar with StoreVirtual, obviously we have iSCSI as a connectivity option, but we now also have native simple fiber channel host connectivity as well at both 16 gig and 8 gig options, and then we have 1 gig and 10 gig iSCSI options as well. So a number of connection options that we can use. And for those of you that like to get a view of exactly what the hardware looks like, so this is the back of the 3200. So we see we've got our two controllers within the array enclosure, and we've got a number of different controller options that we can choose from in terms of which connectivity we want. So we have 1 gig with just the base onboard 2 ports per controller, a total of 4 ports, and they're all RJ45 Ethernet connected. If we need more 1 gig ports, we can also have a 4 port per controller configuration. For higher performing iSCSI requirements, we have a 10 gig connected iSCSI option. And then we also have that fiber channel connectivity option running at either 8 or 16 gig, determined by the SFPs that you put into those ports. Okay. In terms of how we can scale this platform, so if you need more capacity, you've now got the ability to add drives to the existing enclosures, add additional enclosures as well. Again, large or small form factor or a mixture of the two, depending on requirements. If we need to scale performance, then we have the ability to add additional drives into the existing storage pool. We can also add SSD later on, and at that point make use of adaptive optimization auto-tiering, so moving data around based on access, so making sure any hotspots, the hottest bits of data, are moved up into SSD in real time. That's the default configuration, so no hands-on required, but it is a capability that we can disable on a per volume basis if there are certain workloads that don't need that level of acceleration. And then we have the ability to move workloads online. So we can use our migration manager software to move workloads between different platforms as well. Okay. And then to give you a view in terms of what this looks like from a scalability perspective. So our minimum starting point for a 3200 configuration is now down at 4 drives. We can obviously fill those base enclosures with either 12 large form factor or 25 small form factor drives. So that can be anything up to 50 or 70 terabytes of capacity. Then we have the ability to scale that right the way up to another 3 drive enclosures. So 100 small form factor, 48 large form factor, or a mixture between the two. And then up to or exceeding 200 terabytes in terms of system capacity there. So that gives us a large scale-up capability to grow with the customer's requirements as they go along. Okay. In terms of software functionality, so we bring over a lot of the software functionality from our existing StoreVirtual family, so technologies like thin provisioning and space reclamation, making sure we're using the most efficient way of provisioning storage and only allocating storage as it actually needs to. This is now the default configuration for all of our storage volumes that we create. We've got support for snapshots, and those can be integrated with applications like VMware virtual machines, Hyper-V virtual machines, and then applications like Exchange and SQL, etc. We have functionality like our adaptive optimization. So this is our auto-tiering capability, as well as our remote copy snapshot-based replication technology. Now, those two features are optional. So the base license includes all other functionality. But if you're looking for auto-tiering and remote copy, there's an advanced data services suite that we can add to the platform to offer support for those two features. We also have that remote support capability, so very, very simple setup for phone home-based support, as well as that integration into Storefront Remote for that cloud-based analytic capability. And then we've introduced some new capabilities to take full advantage of this new platform design. So we now have this native dual controller architecture, so both of those controllers are fully active-active. They're serving the workload from both, but should one of those fail, the other one can take over access to all of the drives underneath and continue running. We have the ability to now scale up, so we can add those drives and drive enclosures. And another key feature that we have is we have our network RAID technology, but it's now an optional capability. So we can use controller level availability. So if a controller fails, the other controller can take over, and we can just provision volumes using what we call network RAID 0, so 1 copy of data within the array. But we also have the ability to use our high availability, our network RAID 10, where we write 2 copies of data behind the 2 controllers. That way, if we were to suffer multiple failures, we still can have access to that data at that point. So that's now an option rather than previously with existing StoreVirtual technology. Network RAID was pretty much always used to give us that high availability. We now have the capability for active controllers to take over that workload. So we can choose what level of protection we want on a per volume basis. Okay. In terms of management, as I mentioned, we've really designed this platform to be very, very simple to use. So for any of you that are familiar with platforms like OneView and the 3PAR management console, we're using exactly the same framework, the same look and feel for consistency across the different HPE platforms. So very much a web-based dynamic platform, simple dashboard giving you a view of everything important that's going on at the moment, and a nice simple menu that you can navigate through to do simple things like provision storage, get more monitoring and more information about the platform and how it's using. But again, being designed to something that people can just pick up and use and not need to go away and learn and read manuals to figure out how to use it. And then we can supplement that capability with the Storefront remote capability. So giving you that web portal dashboard into our cloud-based analytics system. So giving you more of a capacity trending, an overall dashboard across potentially multiple systems, and the ability to proactively inform about any alerts and information as well. Okay, so that's a little bit in terms of the new StoreVirtual 3200. In terms of how we position it within our HPE storage portfolio. So to give you a view, our 3200 is really focused on being that low cost of entry storage platform. So very simple, very affordable, but still offering resilience, but now with the flexibility to grow with drives and enclosures as needed. So that's typically our best fit platform where the focus is around low cost of entry. But there are some other particular key areas where we may provision other platforms as a particular focus. So if the desire is for a small number of hosts to connect directly via SAS, then we'd still look at an MSA, probably a 1040 at that point. If we've got a higher level of performance requirements, so something more like 60 to 120,000 IOPS, some of that being delivered through flash-based storage, and that's where we typically look at our MSA 2042-based platform for some increased performance capability. If we're talking to customers that have MSA already and love MSA and want more of that technology, then absolutely we'll look at MSA as being the best platform fit for those customers. And then if we've got customers that are looking to use shared storage inside servers, use software-defined capabilities, that's where we look at our StoreVirtual VSA as a storage technology here. Okay. In terms of some of the key workloads, so obviously very much a focus around server virtualization for the 3200, as well as typical productivity applications, so email applications, SharePoint, etc., smaller databases, things like that. But for workloads that are more sequential, streaming data, so video editing, video processing, surveillance, etc., then again, the MSA is a great platform for that type of workload. Or if the focus is very much around just providing file share access, then we have our StoreEasy-based NAS platforms there as well as an option. And to give you a bit of a view in terms of what we see in the competitive market, a couple of key products that we'll focus on just to give you a bit of a differentiation. So first of all, the EMC VNXE 1600. So obviously with the acquisition and the merger of Dell EMC becoming Dell Technologies, a lot of their portfolio's future is uncertain. For us, the 3200 is a new platform that's based on existing StoreVirtual technology that's been proven over quite a number of years within HPE and HP before that. 3200's a lower point of entry platform as well, so we get more functionality at a lower entry point. But another key thing is we've got application integration for our snapshots. So if you're taking snapshots, you want to make sure you can actually recover the data in a known good point in time. We make sure you can do that with our application integration, whereas the VNXE has no capability to support that. On the 3200, we also have the ability to offer higher levels of availability beyond just standard RAID. So we can make use of that StoreVirtual network RAID technology if we need 5 nines plus levels of availability there. And finally, we're offering real true tiering, dynamic tiering, real time with adaptive optimization rather than just caching as a capability here. So a few key points against that as a platform. And then to give you a view in terms of another platform that we see as a common competitor, so the Dell MD3000, again, unsure exactly how much life this is going to have left in it, but some of those products are already starting to go end of life. This is a very expensive platform, so significantly more expensive starting point, plus if you are looking for an increased amount of cache, it's even more expensive. If you want to make use of all of the performance capability of the platform as well, you'd need to buy a turbo license to get access to all of that capability, whereas the StoreVirtual 3200 has access to all of its performance as standard. And then again, we can offer a much greater range of snapshot capability and that application integration, that consistency, so we make sure that data is actually usable should you need to recover it. So just a little bit of information against a couple of key products that we sell. And finally, just a point to say, so the 3200 is the first phase of launch right now. So we're not going to talk specifically about roadmaps here, but obviously there are additional capabilities that we have within our existing StoreVirtual family that we will be bringing to the 3200 over a number of different phases. So the first set of announcements are going to be around our Discover London show next month, and you'll see we'll be adding even more functionality to this platform over time. And then finally, just to finish off in terms of information that's available, so there have already been a number of webinars that are pre-recorded and you can go back and look at. So a storage power hour and a tech talk that you can register and view. There's already information available on the partner portal, so competitive battle cards, call guides, etc. around product capabilities. The product's launched in advance already. And all of the options are now shipping and available. So all of the SKUs for the 3200 can now ship. At which point, just want to say thank you very much for your time. Hopefully that was useful. I'm Alex Wilson from HPE. If you have any information that you're looking for, then please, by all means, follow up. But I'll just hand back to Paul now for a quick close.
Thanks. So just before we let you go, I just wanted to highlight that these products, the StoreVirtual 3200 range, are at the moment you can claim up to 4,000 points on HPE Advanced, which effectively will give you an extra £400 as a bonus to you for selling those products. If you need any more information about the Advanced program, please by all means give me a call or contact me at paul.williams@ingrammicro.com. And with that, I'll say thank you and hope to speak to you soon. Thank you. Bye.